Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. You know, I'm always talking about the importance of your credit score. The CFPB has provided, again, another great resource. And I could interject my own experiences, and I will, but here, an unbiased review or discussion on how do I get and keep a good credit score. This is so important in this era that you, be it a teenager or somebody 65 or older, you know how important it is to maintain an excellent credit score in order to minimize your interest expenses while having that leverage, if you will, of being able to get credit. So there's no secret formula to building a strong credit score, but there are some guidelines that can help. This document will be available in the link below. Pay your loans on time every time. That's pretty simple. Don't make late payments. I know occasionally you might run into a situation. You may be on vacation. You may have forgot to set up a payment while you're on vacation. Believe it or not, one error or one late payment can affect your credit score significantly. So be very cautious of that. Set up automatic payments. I'm not a fan of automatic payments. Why? Because you're either A, giving your banking account information to that particular source, or you're giving your credit card to that source. And trust me, the different groups state that they have guardrails to protect your information. No, there's no such thing. If man can design software, man can override and find weaknesses in the software. So there's always that hacking situation. Up to you. I don't use automatic payment for the most part. Don't get close to your credit limit. Now, this is something you really need to pay attention to. I've made comments on this in the past, but my credit card company loves to just jack up my credit limit. It's something you just don't pay attention to until for some reason you may be glancing at your monthly credit card statement and you look at your credit limit and it's so outrageously high, just shaking your head going, why do they keep doing this? So now you have to actually call up and have that number lowered. So you might have to do this every couple years, depending on how good your credit is. The better your credit, the more often the credit card companies want to increase this credit limit. But on the other hand, if you have a sensible credit limit, let's say 10 grand, you're the type of person that just doesn't care about paying interest. Now, again, money should be in your pocket, not someone else. But if you're maxing that credit limit close to 10 grand, you're at a threshold, and it's pretty simple. It's because you have the want and the need to spend money. And the credit card companies use a simple algorithm and they're going, at 10 grand, is this person and their income, are they borderline? And should we cut that credit limit? Bottom line here is don't go any higher than 70% of your credit limit. But on the other hand, it should be zero. Now, fine, you want to buy a bunch of appliances. You're doing home improvements. You get close to the max, but you pay it off the next month. Why? Because there's a bit of a reward. Maybe you're getting 2% back. Maybe you're getting 3% back. It only makes sense to pay that off when it's due. But part of the 55% of the population that has a credit balance, a debit balance, in other words, you have an outstanding balance, the average is a little over 5 grand. Well, you know what I'm going to say is cut back, stop spending, and lower this credit limit and lower it. Literally, if you're at 5 grand a month, well, call up your credit card company, say, cut off that credit limit to 7,500. Then when you pay your credit card down to 2,500, call up your credit card company again, say, lower it to 5 grand. Then when you have that darn thing paid off, say, look, lower this credit card to 2,500. It's sort of an emergency fund to 2,500 or 3 grand, whatever you think is that threshold. Maybe 5 grand is just a good tolerance. But if you lack the discipline, the spending discipline, then try to lower this to a number that you can pay off on a monthly basis. A long credit history will help your score. Well, that's a duh factor. Clearly, if you have a track record, then you'll generally maintain that track record. If you are a routine type individual, you're going to make your monthly payments on time, or you're not going to make your payments on time. We just have this, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist. What's the word? Anyway, Only apply for credit that you need. And I say this time and time again. Credit scoring formulas look at your recent credit activity as a signal of your need for credit. If you apply for a lot of credit over a short period of time, it may appear to lenders that you're dealing with financial setbacks. I've used example, 6 credit cards, you're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Well, again, it doesn't take much to sit down and write a software program that says, we're looking at over 4 million transactions and we see this pattern. It doesn't take long to recognize the habits of individuals. So your credit score will be impacted. Fact check your credit report. I can't say this enough. The 3 credit reporting companies, because they have to gobble up so much information, there are errors. And sadly enough, you're the victim of their incompetence. There are laws, there are regulators, there's consumer agencies. That is their only job, is to babysit these 3 agencies. That's how incompetent they are. And there's no foolproof way to fix the problem. It's complex, and they want to be big brother to everyone. But on the other hand, if we didn't have the credit reporting companies, what would happen? Well, there are so many scams and frauds out there right now. If we didn't have the credit reporting companies, you could see the problem. So it's that chicken, the egg. How do you fix this problem? Well, just check your credit report on at least an annual basis. If you're new to credit or need to improve your credit, consider getting a product designed to help you establish and build credit. Financial institutions have developed an array of products and services such as secured credit cards and credit builder loans tailored to helping consumers establish and build credit. Back to this, a long history. Parents, it's not a bad idea to introduce credit to your kids at a young age and then work out a system. Try to establish credit and put the responsibility on your children to understand their responsibility if their requirement is to pay for their cell phone. You have to start somewhere. So a cell phone is one of those deals where the kids have to go to work. You have to point them to whatever it is where they have to earn money, and then they have to understand the responsibilities of a credit card. Now you can put a limit on it, say $300 a month. Check out this stuff here in the links, or establish and build credit. This is another video I'll probably produce. But you get the gist here. In this day and age, you really, really, really have to maintain a great credit score. Not good. It has to be great. And I was just reading recently, the requirements now are a FICO score of 800. 720 was AAA. Now they're putting a ranking on individuals with credit scores of 800, which is AAA plus. Then they bumped it up to 825 to saying, oh, well, we'll bow to your wants and needs at 825, where the max is 850. It's a joke. All right, it's a joke. I don't think there's going to be much difference between somebody with an 825 credit score to 800 or even a 720. So there's some people that their life ambition is to get an 850 credit score. Yeah, right. I thought my life was pretty boring. Anyway, hey, good luck to you if your FICO score is 849 or 848. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. I hope that helped. Let me know. Comment or share some tips as to how you maintain a strong credit score, how you got yourself out of a 580 credit score up to 750 or what have you. Brad Williams, Frugal Finance. Thanks for watching. See you soon.